Good morning, friends, and welcome to another episode of Cultivating Home. Today I'm going to be sharing with you our typical morning routine. Our mornings are kind of quiet, and my husband always jokes that it takes me an hour to have my morning cup of coffee, which is true, but I do get some other things done while I'm sipping my morning joe. The first thing I do when I wake up is put on a cozy sweater, especially if it's wintertime like it is now, and I brush my teeth and wash my face and just kind of straighten up a little bit before I go out to get our day started. The very first thing I do in the morning when I come out of the bedroom is I immediately open all the blinds. I love light in general, but especially that golden time of day in the morning, in the evening. That sunshine just makes me happy, and when it's a beautiful day like it is today, I just love to have that sunshine pouring in through the windows. Then I go head upstairs. The kids are usually still sleeping at this point, or they're playing somewhere quietly. So this is when I go upstairs and I start my day with morning prayers. After prayers, the very first thing we do before eating or drinking anything else that day is we take a small piece of dried adidro and a sip of holy water, and then we make the sign of the cross on our forehead with holy oil. Then my day can officially begin, and the very first thing I do, of course, is make my cup of coffee. By now, the kids are slowly starting to wake up, and my middle one that you see there is usually the first one up. He's actually usually up before I am in the morning, but he stays nice and quiet and kind of does his own thing. Sometimes he'll even come and make my coffee for me. For the next half hour or so, I sit down and have a little quiet time. I feel like this is really the only quiet time I get all day until the kids are asleep at night, and by that time I'm just exhausted. So the first thing I do every morning is I go through our planner for the day, and I just make sure I have everything in order and kind of know what we'll be doing in our school day and make sure I have all the necessary books and other supplies and that kind of stuff. I always check this earlier in the week, but I like to just remind myself of what we'll be doing each day. And so I go through and I just check a bunch of things off, and if I have any other ideas for the day, this is when I jot them down. Then I go through my prayer companion, and I promise this is not a bunch of self-promotion that I'm talking about both of my books, but these really are the two that I use pretty much every day. So I like to just go through my vision board and remind myself of these little quotes and motivational things that I have in there. And so I just like to flip through that. And then the next thing that I do is I go through the prayer section. And whatever day it is, I pray for that list of things or people. And then I have a pretty extensive prayer list. And while I don't do it every single day, I do try to go through and say a Lord have mercy on all the names of the people that I have in my prayer journal. After that, I go to the next section and I read the prayer for daybreak by Saint Sophronia of Essex, which I think is just such a beautiful prayer to read in the morning. And then I'll go through and I'll read some others. I read the one for my spouse, I read the one for my children, my parents, my siblings, and then I'll just pick some other random prayers to read if I know someone who's sick or something else going on. I'll go ahead and read those as well. The next thing I do is I read from Songs of Praise, the Psalter Devotional that I had published with Ancient Faith Publishing a couple of years ago. I just go ahead and I read the prayers that you read before reading the Psalter, and then I go ahead and read whatever Psalms I'm on that day. If you're not familiar with the Psalter, what that is basically it's just the book of Psalms from the Bible broken up into 20 groups of Psalms. What makes this Psalter different from all of the other ones that are available are after each group of Psalms, or kathismata, after each kathisma, there is a small devotional on various topics that are relevant to Orthodox women. There's little quotes, there's journaling pages, and there's extra wide margins if you want to doodle in them or take notes on certain verses. Creating this little bit of time for myself every morning really helps set the tone for my whole day. It starts it off in a calm, quiet, peaceful way, and I really feel like it sets the mood for our whole family, and I just love that. After I finish reading, I start making breakfast for the boys. Today we're doing cinnamon rolls, which is quick and easy and just a special kind of treat that makes the house smell so good, and they're nice and warm, and I feel like that's perfect for these cold winter days. While the cinnamon buns are baking, I sneak into the schoolroom to pull out all the things that we'll need for the first half of our day. I just kind of set out their workbooks, and we do some journaling in the morning and some Bible reading. And so I just make sure that we have everything that we'll need already there for us on the school table. These are little scripture verse cards, and I bought them years ago with this little leather pouch, and I'm so glad that I thought to buy a lot of extra packs of cards because I love these so much. I love seeing the verses written in their handwriting, and I love seeing which verses they choose to memorize. While the kids eat their breakfast, I pull up the Patristic Nectar app on my iPad and go to the Synaxarion. I love playing these little stories of the saint of the day for the kids, and I enjoy listening to them and learning as well. And so this is just a good time. They're quick little stories, so while they're sitting there having their breakfast and I'm cleaning up a little bit, it's the perfect time to listen. And now our school day begins. We like to start slow. This seems to work better for both me and my kids. We kind of ease ourselves into the day. And so the first thing we do is we each have a one-line-a-day journal. And so the boys have a Q&A one where it asks them different questions. And actually this new one that I'm using this year has prompts too, though I don't always use them. Sometimes I just prefer to write something from that day that has nothing to do with the prompt. But we spend a few minutes journaling, and if you noticed them laughing and giggling, I love seeing them go back and reading their entries from previous years. That's what they were sharing a giggle over, and it's just really nice. I've really come to treasure these journals. Now they're going to do their little scripture memory cards. And so they're both going to go through the Bible until they find a verse that they want to memorize. And typically we do this once a week. And they'll keep their card for the week and pull it out at random moments to try to memorize that verse. So Nictadio has discovered that certain verses are highlighted. You can see that words to treasure section. And so it seems like the past couple weeks he's sort of been gravitating toward those, while Bandalemon just likes to go through and find a verse that he likes. So yeah, that's how we begin our day. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick peek into our quiet morning routine. This is about where the quiet ends. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks for watching.